Hi Soundies. Today I'm going to do a pretty quick video because I'm guessing now that you've become au fait with importing sounds into Logic Pro X, and that you're used to placing them on the timeline, and I'm anxious to get to mixing. So we've done live Foley and we've done atmospheric Foley, and so I'm just going to do a very quick video on digital Foley that you take from library sources. Basically inputting library sounds, chopping them up and placing them to match action. In this instance, the giggling child, and footsteps, and there are various other things, church bells and stuff like that. So I'm going to let you sort of work out how to do it, all the other bits and pieces yourselves, because I don't think we need to have another 40-minute video on this. So I'm just going to play you through some additional Foley that I've added. So I've added the girl giggle, normal. Here we go. Normal meaning untreated. I've also created a second track called Girl Giggle Treated, and as you can see, in the insert effects, remember we've done the difference between insert effects and send effects, and I'm going to be using both types in this brief demonstration, hopefully brief. So in this Girl Giggle Treated track, I've added P shift. And what that means is, here we go, and that is pitch shift. And what that does is increases by semitones or decreases the pitch of an original source sound. That's a minor, it's basically for people who sing a bit flat, tuning them in, but we can use this for interesting devices. And the mix, and this is quite important in the sense that I'm using 26% mix. So before I play you anything else, I'm just going to play you what the girl giggle sounds like on its own. And you see she starts off quite normal. And this is actually taken as track 6 in Digi Effects I1 Human. Let me just have a little look. So let me go in here just to remind you. Audio file, add audio file. Ooh. Navigate to your sound effects library. And then you'll find Digi Effects library. I go to Human, and I think it's track 6, child laughing. There we go. So feel free to find that particular effect. That's the effect that works best. And it might be worth importing footsteps on a hard floor, not high heels. What have we got? They all seem to be high heels. All right, enough of the giggling. As you can see, it gets madder and madder, which helps us. There we go. Something that's not high heels. There we are. Footsteps on hard floor, continuous, fast. Actually, I would have it continuous normal because it'll be easier to chop up, or even continuous slow because that's what he's going to be doing. But I won't import these now because I've already imported them. There we go. So going back to this, the girl giggle. I've put P shift, so I'm just going to demonstrate what P shift does. I just have to scroll to a point where there we go. So unsolo that, solo this, and I shall take away the other effects so you can hear. So this is what it sounds like normal. This is what it sounds like when I've mixed it down to about 9 semitones, and it's about a 20% mix, 27% mix. So we're getting, if I do it 100%, you just hear the semitone, the lowering. Maybe a little bit of a longer one. Let's have a look at this one, which is kind of freaky. So, but I like the mix. So you can hear the normal sound of the girl, but then you can hear this lower sound. It's very kind of Exorcist Omen kind of, I am the devil kind of effect. Like so. And I'm going to be showing you mixing in the next session, which is why I want to get through this one fairly quickly. But I can increase this mix throughout the whole of this track. So I don't have to stay with 26% all the way through. I can write in, as this progresses, a greater and greater mix, should I wish to do so. And I'll be showing you how to do that in the next session. Other things I've added an echo. If I open that, and it's a half note, so that's a slow echo, feedback 16%, and again I can change this ratio, should I wish, between the dry sound, that means the untreated sound, and the wet sound, which is the treated sound. So if I've switched that back on, you get that little effect. And then Space Designer, I switched that on as well, and I've got, I don't know why it's that, it was just the preset, dry, wet. Again, you can change these levels as part of the mixing stage. So with the whole design, pretty effective, I think you'll agree. Okay, so I'm going to play you the whole design until we get to the church, and I'll point out any effects that I've added. I've added a bell and a few other bits and pieces. Still all normal at the minute. We get the first sense of her being supernatural with this crossing, which you've got to find something for. Here's the bell. All this needs to be mixed to create perspective later. It's all just track later at the minute. I intend to drag this particular clip down to the treated one, and it's over this space that I'll start adding the strange effects. At the minute it's still in the dry, it should really be in the wet one, but I didn't want to put it in the wet one until I've written it all in. This is where it's all kind of treated. Everything's live Foley up to this point apart from the bell and the girl. That key score worked quite well when everything else is put in. I wasn't really happy about it originally, but I quite like it now. This is Digital Foley. So we need some footsteps here. Find the right effect in the sound effects library for the door slams and the creaks. And remember, we added a bus effect with a reverb. Use that. These are digital Foley effects that I've already put in. I'm using the shadow as a step guide, which is why you get a sudden skip. And there you have it. So I'm just going to demonstrate how you add the Foley effects, the footsteps. So I've already got my footsteps. I think we pointed out to them. So here we are. And I've already done some here. And here we are. Number 9 from Human. So I'm just going to drag that on. There we go. There we go. So what I'm going to do, these are all footsteps. So if I press play now, let me solo it so we don't get the jangling key. So I'm going to trim it down to, I always miss the first few out. Oh, actually. So I'm going to start with this one. So I'll trim that down. I'm going to zoom right in, and remember the playback head is the beginning of the clip. So remember, we've got our snap off, so we can chop this. I got my razor blade, so I'm going to chop this really close. There's one. There's another one. There's another one. Let's make it a bit wider so we can see those. Oops, see those a bit easier. There we are. There's, oh, there might be, is it, let me just check. Oh, I want to keep that. That's a little scrapey sound. So I'll just put that out of the way for the minute. Again, chop there. Chop there. Chop there. Oh. In fact, apart from that scrapey sound, all these other ones are a bit quiet for me, so I'm just going to get rid of all of those. I'm going to start off with these nice louder ones. Here we go. So let's drag it a bit along. That one there. That one there. That one there. That one there. Okay, that should do. Okay, so let's go back and let's have a little look. So I'm going to drag all of these along. Until we get to approximately the point where the whole thing starts. There we go. So the first step needs to be the first step that he makes to walk into the church. That's the first step for me. So I'm going to go there. Let's have a little look. That's the second one, which happens to fit. So I'm happy with that. It becomes a little bit easier when we see him. So let's have a little, let's play those through again. There needs to be another one there just for the purpose of rhythm. About there. Let's actually make this a little bigger so we can see a bit easier. Okay, and now let's put these in. So I'm going to get the next one. And the first foot is, and I'm following the visual screen. There, I think. Do the next one. There. Might be need a slightly louder one for that drop. Next one is there, about there. And next one is about there. It's harder because we can't see the footsteps, but you know if they're wrong. And about there. So let's have a little look at that. Oh, that's a bit late. Try that. Oh, and that's when, to say we're a little bit of a scrape sound. When he turns around, let's see. And then I've already put these ones in. So let's see what it sounds like with bus 6, which is reverb chapel. So I'll add that in. Let's see if it sounds like with just, let's go back to the bit that we've done. That works for me. Let's go from, and this whole process is exactly the same. And there you have it. Okay, so that's how you do digital Foley. You just find the sound, the beginning of the playback clip, so you can trim to the very beginning of the clip, and that's the playback head, and you can move that sound until it's locked in tight with a visual representation of that sound. So like a footstep or a door slam. The other Foley sounds are more kind of environmental, like the church bell. And the girl giggles. They're not synced to any particular action because we never see the girl giggle. We never see her talk. It's implied or inferred through context. So there we go. Go have a cup of tea, have a think about it, and then I'd like you to put all the digital Foley required for this film on. And the next session we're going to be doing is how to mix all this together. Because at the moment we've just done track laying. Now we've got to do automated mixing, and that'll be the theme of the next lesson. So have a cup of tea, then do a bit of work. Okay.